Hey, True Believers, England TD here with another batch of new comic book reviews. These are books that should be on the shelf at the time of this recording. Now, I know I'm behind on a couple of them, but we do always try, I always try to include an independent, a Marvel, and a DC. Sometimes I can't do that because of what came out that week. I do believe I've actually done that this time, though. All right, but with all that aside, let's get this party started. We're going to start off with Batman number 96. This is Joker War Part 2. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this cover because what a mess. Is it just me? The colors dilute the Joker, who seems to be the focus. You know, Batman's just a little bit off at an angle. The focus is the Joker's face in the Batmobile, but because of the lighting and everything, he seems to be lost. There's only really three figures, the Batman, the Joker, and the Batmobile, and yet it still seems incredibly cluttered. Frankly, I prefer the painted Catwoman with the bat symbol above her, but that's just me. The book starts off, I know a lot of people made a big deal about the whole new Batman costume. Some people lost their mind about it, but they're the rumor crowd. You know, everything's gonna die because they, you know, it's like, okay, I get it. You don't like anything. Fine. Here, in the story, we got the fact that it was the costume he would wear when he no longer really needed to be Batman. In this case, we find out that it's been a month since anybody tried to start anything, and this time around it was Freeze who's tried to start anything. So Batman, after defeating Mr. Freeze and his family, he decides, you know, he goes back to the cave, and there's Alfred talking to him, and everything seems to be a-okay until Alfred just kind of wigs out, and you find out that, no, nothing is real, and he's having some sort of crazy hallucination because of the drug that was given to him by Punchline. Remember, Punchline is the best at everything. That's the way they're selling her right now. So he wakes up and he's with Harley Quinn, and she kind of tells him what's going on. She's trying to help him, but Batman's being Batman. I need to get out there. And she goes, no, we need you, you know, you need to get your crap together so we could actually defeat him. This is an issue where a lot and nothing at all seems to happen at the same time. I mean, we're dealing with, of course, what's going on with Batman. We see that there's a bit of a rising within the citizenry, but I did not feel like the story evolved. To me, it didn't feel like the story moved forward an inch. So it's like the saying goes, you know, it's full of sound and fury. It seemed to signify absolutely nothing. But that could just be me. I'm a different breed of cat. But how did I feel about it? In all honesty, I've been going along saying, even though I see the story flaws, I'm really into it. I'm really enjoying it. And oh my gosh, this is actually a really cool story. And let me tell you, first of all, I dig on the art. I think the art's really good. I love the colors, except for the cover, which I talked about. That being said, this is the first time I've ever read an issue and went, okay, that was all right. Yeah, I had no visceral emotion towards it. I had no visceral feeling towards it at all. I read it, I said it was fine, and then I put it down and went to the next book. And one of those next books is Green Hornet number 1. I am a big fan of the Green Hornet. If you've watched any of my live streams, you know I've got the movie poster on my wall here. It's really cool. I just like it. I like the idea of the crime fighter posing as the criminal to infiltrate. As far as the covers are concerned, I got the first one, but in all honesty, I really wish that I got this one right here. It just seems so much cooler. And of course, he's carrying a baby, which does happen in the story. Now, I also like the fact that there's sort of almost a Norman Rockwell yet noir feeling to it, so give that what you will. Okay, so Scott Lobdell is the writer here. We've got Anthony Marquis, Jay Bone, Taylor Esposito. That's great cast of creators here, and in all honesty, I think they get it. I think they get the character, and that's something. He's a little bit arrogant, but not over the top with it. I dig on the art. Now, for a while, this art took me a while to get used to. I was looking at it going, really, is this the direction we're going? I'm not sure I'm loving it. We find out, of course, yes, they're in a combat situation. They've got a baby, so what's going on? But as we went, I realized what kind of story is being told here, and especially for the time. I always put the Green Hornet in the past. I don't know why. Maybe, and that might be a flaw of mine as a reader. But I started realizing that this isn't a noir film. This is not or noir story, I should say. This isn't a usual criminal story. This is a sci-fi story. As I started reading, I'm like, wait a second, is this the way they're going? Because it seems like they're gearing up for some sort of alien to be the bad guy. And as we get to the ending, oh, that is surely where they're going. And so the art makes sense to me now. And the more I got that, the more I understood this is the direction they're going in, the more I appreciated the art and the art style, because it seems really like one of those 1950s sci-fi films. And yeah, I know I'm comparing the comic to a film. And to me, that just works. I really ended up enjoying this book a lot. I got to admit, I love Daredevil. I think he's one of the greatest Marvel characters ever created. I think, in granted, I'm going to give a lot of credit to Frank Miller, that I think when he wrote him the way he did, he opened up Daredevil to who he really should be. I think Chip Zdarsky's been running with it as well. I think he's modernized it, but hasn't made it modern. If that makes any sense to you, I hope you understand it. There is a problem here, though, but it's a small problem, and it goes to what I said about the Batman number 96, about how it didn't seem to move the story forward. We are exactly at the same space, in the same place as we were last issue. Every line of dialogue almost is what that was said in the last issue. Look, Daredevil's going to turn himself in. That's all. I mean, that's literally this book. Granted, he has different conversations with different people about it, but that is where it stands. Of course, we do see some story with Kingpin, and how he's dealing with, and how he, and by that I mean with what happened in Hell's Kitchen. And we do get an incredibly cool meeting between Daredevil and Spider-Man, but ultimately this is telling the same story as the tail end of the last issue. So narratively, you're not moving forward. But here's the thing, and this is where Batman failed. Characteristically, you are. And that is something. You are seeing progress in how Daredevil is handling what's going on. Same information, but we get a difference. We get we get movement within the characters themselves. The interaction between Daredevil and Spider-Man is tense. And it's one of the best written scenes in comic books this year, hands down. And I loved it. This is absolutely a fantastic book that's being written and produced by Marvel right now. A lot of people have just blown Marvel off completely because of other works. I'm telling you, not every comic book is bad from Marvel. This is an excellent one. In my opinion, this is carrying the company, as a matter of fact. Another book, by the way, Batgirl 47, that this is gonna sound funny, because it's gonna sound like I'm praising Batgirl more than Daredevil. I am definitely going to praise Batgirl number 47 more than I will Batman number 49. That's going to happen, which is something because this is written by Cecil Castellucci, who had spoiled her good name with that Femme Furies fiasco. So Batgirl's chilling in her apartment. It's a day off. She gets that little danger sense going on. She throws something, and oh my gosh, it's the Joker. He's in her apartment again, and we know what happened the last time, that she got shot. And it is a verbal game of cat and mouse. I know that's been said about other things before in the past. I'm telling you, I've not said it. I'm saying it right there. This is it. This is a verbal sparring match between Batgirl and Joker. Now, they do fight, mind you, but Joker gets the physical upper hand, using something that controls the electronic chip that allows Barbara to stand. Remember, she got shot in the spine. She is an invalid, but because of technology, she's able to move around. Joker got a hold of that technology, and now they're sitting there, and it is just back and forth. All the while, Barbara is trying to gain the upper hand. You know, she's given as good as she gets verbally, trying to gain the upper hand physically, and it is absolutely intense. Well, there was now, excuse me for getting the title wrong, but there was I think it was called Alone in the Dark or something. Tippi Hedren was in the movie, or she played a blind girl. This kind of reminds me of that situation. And by all means, at me and tell me what the real title of the movie is in the comments below. In the end, though, I like this a lot. There's a problem, though. In Nightwing, we find out she gets all this information on the rooftop from Punchline and Nightwing, and she gets knocked out there. So continuity-wise, you're not doing a too good of a job, because this is supposed to be part of the Joker War. You got to know where your characters are. You know, you put it together in a group, this fails. But on its own, this issue is really, really strong. As usual, I'm going from my favorite to the least favorite. There's no bad books this time around, but Batgirl tops the list. I had to think about this because Batgirl and Daredevil are both excellent. I just thought that the verbal sparring between Batgirl and Joker was far more exciting than what I saw in Daredevil this time around. Next up, we follow it with the Green Hornet. It's a great take on the character. I enjoy it. I even ended up liking the art. I just wish I could find this cover for it. And finally, of course, the last book, the worst book of the week, which doesn't say it's bad, is Batman 96. A lot of stuff happens without anything happening. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, click on one of the ones that are popping up around you here, and don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to help out the channel, go on over to Ko-Fi or to Patreon. Links in the description below. Like, thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.